You drop money into your... This isn't how the show normally starts, just so everyone knows. This isn't a bit. You've dropped money into your wine. And she's just poured it into your... You trying to poison her? Maybe. Yeah, you'll find it at the end. Don't choke, will you? Because that'll be... We've probably got someone from... Someone will be in it, St John's Ambulance or something? Fine, brilliant, that's fine. What's your name, the lady with the money in the drink? Joanna, how are you, Joanna? How's your day been? All right then. I mean, you're at my show, so that's a bit rude. It's quite long. What do you do, Joanna? Oh, you can't take the piss out of that. I imagine it's very hard and it's constantly getting harder. Thank you for all your hard work. I'm a jester, I do nothing. Yes, I know. Thank you, Joanna. So I've got some bad news at the top of the show. Bad news at the top of the second half. I've got some bad news. For you, not me, for you. Terrible news for you. I'll just get out and say it and then I've said it and then we can all relax. Here's the bad news. I'm happy. That's the bad news. Terrible news for you. Oh, awful. Great for me, terrible for you. Because the last thing that you want is a happy comedian. You know, you want me to finish all of my bits tonight by going, and then in the end, everything was all right. That's the last thing you want. Everything was fine. You don't want that. What you want from a comedian is you want us to tell you how terrible but funny our lives are, so that you can all sit there and go, at least we're not her. That's what comedy is, but don't worry. I've found the secret to happiness, but don't you worry one bit, Geordie. I'm willing to tell you how I got this happy, so you too can be as happy as me. Because I've done loads of things to try and get happy. I've done meditation, I've done yoga, I've had a lot of therapy. I mean, that's just sitting down and talking about yourself. Sure, I enjoyed it, but it didn't make me any happier. And then one morning, I stumbled upon it, and it made me happy, and that was it. And now I can share it with you. You can all get happy as well. I'll tell you what it is. Get ready. Write it down. Okay, get ready. I'll tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's changed my life. Changed my life. Every single day is better because of this. Get ready, Phil. I'll tell you what I've done. I've bought a fucking NutriBullet. Have you got one? Oh, they're brilliant. I thought the recipe for a happy life was like a partner, place to live, a job. No, none of them. Bananas, 6 strawberries, 5 blueberries, and if no one's looking, half a Snickers. Yes, please. Yes, please. On an unrelated note, I've also met the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. We've recently got onto the property ladder, and I bloody love being a stand-up comedian, but I've got to be honest with you, I am 99% certain it is that NutriBullet. I really am. Another thing you're probably all thinking, I'll address it, bit of an elephant in the room, I know that. Bit of an elephant in the room, I'll address it. Yes, I'm having a pretty good time with my hair. Thank you for noticing. Now, I've had a lot of bad hair, I had a lot of really bad hair. I had yellow hair for a while, blonde just never happened for me. Then I had a bowl cut, that didn't suit me. Then I had this haircut. Oh, it looked lovely indoors, lovely in the house, but the minute I stepped outside, it sort of naturally parted into curtains. So it just always looked like I was playing up front for Man U in the mid-90s. It wasn't the look, right? But then, and then I quite like the length that it is now, but not everybody does. I'll set the scene for you. I went and had a trim at the normal place I had my hair cut. Then I had to go to a gig in Birmingham. I was late for the show, had to get the train to the gig, the train was delayed, then I had to run to the venue. When I got there, I had a wee where the audience were. In their toilets, not in the auditorium. I don't mark the area pre-gig. And oh, by the way, there's a joke in the show for everyone. Every single person, you've got your own joke. If you haven't laughed yet, just relax, it's coming. And for some of you, that was your joke. Gutted. So, I have a wee, I come out, I'm washing my hands, because I'm a good girl, and a lady comes out of the cubicle behind me and goes, "Excuse me, this is the ladies' toilets." And I had to go, "Oh yeah, I am a lady." And she went, "Oh yeah, I know." And I would say it was the most awkward moment of her life until I immediately went on stage and told that story. And then I would say that that was the most awkward moment of her life. But it wasn't the strangest thing that happened at that gig. I'll tell you what happened. I'm at the gig, I'm on stage, I'm having quite a nice gig. Okay, the gig's going quite well, everyone's laughing, we're all having quite a lot of fun. But there's a woman in the front row who hates me. Oh, she hates me. Oh, she really hates me. Okay, and I've been doing comedy long enough to know some people like you, some people don't, that's totally fine. This woman, oh, she absolutely hated me, okay? So much so that whenever I finished a routine, she would just look at me and go, do to a stand-up comedian. Now, you're a lovely audience and lovely Chorley, so I feel like I can tell you this. But if you know any comedians, or if you ever meet another comedian, don't tell them I told you. Okay, because this is a secret within the comedy community. And if you tell them that I told you, I might get kicked out of the funny circle. Okay? That was your joke. The worst thing you can do to a stand-up comedian is whisper a heckle. Because in that situation, she knows she said it, don't you worry, I've heard it, but I can't react, can I? Because if I go, what's your problem, you bitch? Everyone will go, oh look, Susie's having a breakdown. So I can't react, okay? Now this was the heckle that she did, this is the heckle. She just looked at me and goes, okay, I'm having a nice gig, fanning about, you know, like I do, on stage, and she looks up, dead in the eyes, absolutely hates me, leans across to her mate, and just goes, ugh, she thinks a lot of herself. Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? That's horrible. And I've been thinking about that every moment of every day since it happened. And I've come to the conclusion that in that moment, while I was being a stand-up comedian on stage, yeah, I did think quite a lot of myself. Because it's a weird thing being a comic. Quite often, audiences quite like you to be sort of quite big, quite loud, quite confident, but at the same time, like you to be very low status. So you've sort of got to do two things at once. If you're wondering what it feels like, have 6 or 7 gins. You know, quite sad, but very willing to chat. That's what being a comic feels like. And I've decided that this woman must have hated me. I've decided that she must be trying to take me down. I've decided that she might have a little side hustle in bespoke heckles. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is my first show of my tour. I'm worried she's going to come to the tour. I'm worried that, because with that, like, she thinks a lot of myself. It's like, oh, it really got me. And I'm worried that she's going to do it again. I'll be at a tour show somewhere around the country, and she'll say something else that really get me in my heart. You know, I'll be on stage having a lovely time, and all of a sudden I hear a voice from the back of the room go, hey, Suze, do you think your career's not really going to take off until Sue Perkins retires? That's the big fear! Literally waiting for her to retire. Come on, Sue, you've had a turn, give me one. I've met her once, she was very nice. Or another night, I'll be at another tour show in another town across the country, and I hear a voice from the back of the room go, hey, Sue, you said at the beginning of the show that you're happy, but how can you really be happy when the world's going to shit? Boris Johnson's the Prime Minister, Donald Trump's the President, the world's getting hotter and hotter and hotter, no one seems to care, eventually it will kill us all, and all you're doing is standing on stage, fanning about, you know, not doing anything important with your life, not doing anything important, just showing off to get people to like you. Because sometimes the heckles come directly from my soul. But honestly, that Nutribullet the other day, I went to the fridge and just like, sweet corn, kale, mascarpone, whizzed it up, and do you know what? It was actually disgusting. So I did the show in Edinburgh for 27 nights on the trot. Don't mind telling you that 3 reviewers said, weird start. And I like it. So, weird start about a Nutribullet. Could give a fuck, I think it's funny. So I am getting happier. That is the truth. I'm genuinely getting happier. And one of the big things is because of my girlfriend Alice, and it's going very well. We've recently got engaged. In fact, oh, thanks. That's very nice of you. Thank you, women. Men tend to never make a response to that, which is absolutely fine. Men are generally like, couldn't give a fuck, mate, tell a joke. And that's absolutely fine. That is the contract we're in this evening. That's very much my job tonight. But my Alice proposed to me, which is very sweet. I knew it was going to happen. You were like, oh, Suze, how do you know? What was it? Gut feeling? Sign from the universe? Were you holding hands and you saw a shooting star and you thought, now, it's going to happen now? No, it was none of those things. I'll tell you what happened. My mum accidentally let slip. Let's unpack that a little bit. Alice asked my mum for her permission. Which is very sweet, and it is a move that can only really be described as lesbian feminist, because my dad is very much alive and well, but apparently she couldn't give a fuck what he thinks. So, gutting for him. So, Alice asked Mum was like, yeah, go for it, babe, go for it. But in that time, between Alice asking my mum and Alice asking me, there was about 6 weeks. And in that time, I went home to Portsmouth to see my mum. And I could tell my mum had a secret. She's not good at keeping a secret, okay? She was a bit overexcited. Now, we went for dinner. We went for a few drinks. Then we went home with the intention of having a cup of tea. When we walked in, Anne Ruffle, the mothership, pulls a classic Anne Ruffle move. Okay, she walks into the kitchen, turns to me and goes, fuck it, let's have a Baileys. Classic Anne Lockwood, okay? You don't know my mum, but that is bang on brand for her, okay? Then she did what everyone does when they have a Baileys indoors. Because no one knows how much Bailey when you're indoors. How much Bailey? I don't know how much Bailey we went to. I don't know how much Bailey. So there we are, half a pint of Baileys each. And Mum keeps looking at me. Mum has got the vibe of a woman with a secret, okay? She keeps looking at me. Now, I'm over there on the chair. She's over here on the sofa. And she keeps looking at me like this. And eventually I go, what? She goes, me? I ain't got a thing to say. I ain't even thinking anything. Here, Suze. Now this is just hypothetical, right? It's just hypothetical, right? Just hypothetically. Right, do you reckon, right, one day, you and Alice might get married? I went, yeah, I'd love that. That would be amazing. I'd love to get married. She goes, here, listen, Suze, if one day you did get married, right, don't you reckon you should do the proposing? Now, I'll tell you what this is. Alice has long hair and wears dresses, okay? And my mum thinks she makes an effort to be a girl. She deserves the story. That's a nice bit of homophobia that's happening within Mum. That's a nice bit we've got to get rid of. And I went, oh, yeah, maybe I would like to do the proposing. Yeah, maybe I would. And she goes, oh. Here, listen, babe, I'm not saying a thing, my lips are sealed, right? I'm not saying a thing, right? But if you do want to do the proposing, if I was you, I'd crack on. Crack on! That's how I found out. The least romantic term anyone has ever heard. And then Mr. Darcy cracked on. And now we're getting married, which is very exciting. But I don't know, there must be people in the room that have recently got married or are planning a wedding at the minute. It's very... Anyone planning a wedding?
Woo!
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, what's your name?
Danny.
Hello, Danny. When are you getting married?
June next year.
June next year, okay, we're May next year. How's it going? How's the planning going?
Good, I just need to pay for everything.
I know, it's really expensive, isn't it? Really expensive. What you do sometimes think, oh, shall we? Fuck off. Just do it there. Where are you doing it? In Chorley?
Lancaster.
Lancaster, very nice. Very nice indeed. Who are you marrying?
A man called Gavin.
That's okay, you don't know. I appreciate a lot of the audience are lesbos, but straight people, absolutely welcome. I love you all. I hope it's all right in this situation. I don't want to shock anyone, but I am marrying a man. That might be one of the funniest things that happens tonight, and I'm delighted and furious at the same time. Well, I hope the two of you have a lovely life together. But you know, God wouldn't like it. My God, which is Ellen DeGeneres, she wouldn't like it. And Claire Boyding and Moira Stewart. So, Danny, you might be doing a similar thing to Alice and I at the moment. We play a game every day at the minute. You might be playing this game a lot as well. Constantly talking about the wedding. The game we play every single day is, who do we like enough to feed? Playing that game. That game constantly. Constantly people are coming off and on that list every time we see them. Oh, it's a nightmare. But I am... I'm excited for the wedding, of course, now. I'm more excited for the honeymoon, if I'm honest. Alice and I both have very busy jobs. We're going to go away for 2 weeks, go somewhere nice. But it is a bit tricky when you're an LGBT plus person going abroad. Because you don't want to go anywhere when they're a bit down on the games. You know, we don't want to play the, we're sisters for the whole honeymoon, you know. We just never grew up holding hands, we just still do it. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? You know, after the wedding, I don't want people to go, oh, did you hear about Susie and Alice on their honeymoon? Yeah, they got stoned. Oh, Amsterdam. No, Brunei. You do have to be careful. I'm very lucky that my mum really likes Alice. I know that's very lucky. And